So what about if you're on a lease? So we talk a lot about the ability to buy, but people always, I think if you're in a rental situation, a lot of times people feel like they have to time it around their lease expiration. There's a lot of uncertainty as to what that means. Can we talk a little bit about being ready to buy and what it means to be on a lease and things we can do to help mitigate that?
So from a legal point of view, and that's a great point. Whenever I'm asked this question, I think, especially if you're living in a private, let's say, multi-unit, and in the same sense, even if you're living in a several building apartment complex with thousands of apartments, I think it's always important to have a great relationship with a management company and or landlord. The reason why I say that is, even though there's a contract in place, a lot of times, people want, and landlords and management companies, whatever, if you're buying or having a child and because of that you need more space, life events happen, and these situations have happened where maybe they might relieve you of your rental duties, or maybe if you tell them hypothetically, hey, my friend Susie is going to be moving in and taking over the remaining portion of my lease. If you work out these real life situations and scenarios, a lot of times landlords or management companies are willing to work with you. I think it's all worth the conversation. From a strict legal,
ask them.
Absolutely.
There.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But from a strict legal point of view, if there's a lease in place, without me personally reading it or having an expert reading it, I can't really tell you what the legal ramifications are behind it, because, there's something that's signed and binding. If you're month to month, you have a lot more flexibility, hypothetically. But in these situations and scenarios, I think it's important to, of course, just start and have a great relationship with your landlord and management company.
Yeah, George, when you're buying, what's the process like in terms of being on a lease? Are the lenders going to be reaching out to the landlords, or is there a conversation there?
It depends on the product. Some products we really don't. We really don't reach out to the landlord. We look at other pieces of the puzzle regarding finances, right?
Do you have to send in a copy of your lease typically?
You do not have to send in a copy of the lease typically.
So most of the time, is that even relevant in the purchase process?
I would say 99% of the time it's not. It's only relevant if you have a person who has no credit and they're trying to purchase, and you have to do an alternative credit report, where the only place
sometimes it can
is a landlord, right? To get some sort of idea of what they pay on time. So you go to a landlord, you go to utility bills, but that's only a very small portion of the market.
So if you have a good relationship with your landlord, it actually can be a benefit to have that lease in place and be able to get them to support you through the purchase process.
In that case, yes.
Awesome. Yeah, so it's really not the handcuff, I think, that a lot of people feel like that's keeping them back from buying.